What's good, my guy? So, today we're going to be talking about something a little different than what we usually do. We're going to be talking about our feelings. Not really. But we're going to be talking about how we feel about the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. But, keep in mind, this is an initial review, so after a few changes that Treyarch is inevitably going to make, we may have to make another video. But I've been talking too long already, so cue the intro. Alright guys, so we're going to be talking about core gameplay of Black Ops 4 multiplayer, and only multiplayer, not Blackout, not zombies, just the multiplayer. While it only has been out for about a day or so, most of us who have been playing from the beginning know how this works, right? Activision makes us a promise, we get excited, then BAM! We get a shitty game, then just wasted $60 to $100. I'm not going to lie to you, I was pleasantly surprised that this was not the case. In the past, I've complained about Call of Duty's tunnel vision effect, which is essentially giving everyone Marathon Pro, like the fucking Flash, and never get tired, and the ridiculous time to kill in previous Call of Duties didn't help this case. This one is a bit different. At first, I didn't like the idea of healing up mid-fighter at the end of a fight. It was kind of stupid to me, like, you know, why are you gonna heal up? Are you gonna pump yourself with adrenaline and everything? And then I'm like, oh, this is a video game. I probably shouldn't be thinking that critical of it. And the regen system was fine, but the current system is much better in my opinion, actually, right now. A lot of people may not realize, but I challenge you to go back to a previous COD and pay attention to the pacing of a game. You aren't getting flanked from multiple directions, and 2 seconds after you kill someone, you know, you don't have someone immediately at your face who is actually the same person you just killed. But, you know, that's neither here or there. This is great for allowing players to constantly get in and out of battles as fast or slow as they can handle, really. You can just dictate how well you want to get, or not how well, but how fast you get into your next encounter. So if you're holding that W key or holding up on the analog stick, you can probably get a lot of fights and get into a lot of action. But if you're like someone who wants to hang back or whatever, you can hang back and, you know, do your own thing. Since I'm talking about, you know, the positives in the game, we're going to keep talking about the pros that we've experienced thus far. So, to start off, the maps in Black Ops 4 are absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, after playing the game, the only map I don't like is Icebreaker. All maps have been carefully designed with the traditional 3 lanes and paths in between to move throughout the map. And the greatest part is that there's so much diversity between the maps, right? So you have maps that will focus on close quarters, and you have your maps that will focus on long range. If I were to give you some example, like Icebreaker is definitely a long range map, right? With, you know, a couple instances of going inside, and then you have your short range encounters that you will experience throughout the game. And so that's actually a pretty good thing in my opinion. I like the diversity of it. I just don't like Icebreaker as a map entirely. Like stomping on snow is just it's not. An added bonus with the return of Firing Range, Slums, Summit, and my personal favorite in the game, Jungle. It gives you a little bit of nostalgia in the air too. So that's another pro of the game I felt I needed to share with you guys. Pleasantly, the game modes seem more team-based and complement each map a little bit better than previous CODs. Before, you could just, like, destroy domination by yourself. But in this game, it kind of is a little harder, especially with the operators in here, because, you know, you could try and try, but if your team's getting thrashed, you're getting thrashed with them, and it's really not your choice. There is room for improvement, but for the launch, everything has been solid for the most part. Now onto the weapons. After that monstrosity of a game, World War II, these guns feel like Jesus dropped them from the heavens and said, fuck shit up. Since this is an honors review, we're focusing on the positives at the moment. I have to say, the way the guns feel is pretty smooth. Assault rifles are balanced with their damage and recoil, and to anyone who says the Swordfish and the ICR are OP, get good. Treyarch has always made burst weapons accurate as fuck, but the Swordfish isn't the M8 from BO3. It can be beaten. The M8 tore up everyone, man. I know everyone remembers. Good time. The time to kill could be a tad bit faster, in my opinion. But I like it because you get into fights, and when you win, you know it's because you had the better chance, or even if you were caught off guard and you still win, it's because you had the better skill, and that's a reward in itself. Finally, the camos this year are fucking sick. They actually put effort into making them instead of giving up some bullshit like Chrome. Whoever fucking thought of Chrome should have been fired. So moving on, I haven't played with all the operators in the game, but I can't say I haven't seen them really flipping the tide in any situation. You know, they're pretty balanced. Crash is the support. Seraph's gun destroys. Tempest is okay, but we'll talk about him in a second. And then everyone else is really balanced. Gravity spikes somehow tear through my cheeks, but, you know, I've come to accept that. Now, moving on. This is the portion where we talk about the cons of the game, right? So some of the issues I've experienced and some of my friends have experienced. Before we get into it, if you watched up to this point, I'd like to say a little subscribble would really help out my guy. You know, if you're enjoying the content I'm providing, feel free to leave a like on there. If, you know, you don't want to subscribe, but, you know, you still like the content. It's all good. As far as the operators go, the only issue I have in the game is Tempest Seeker Drone. Freezes you up for so long. Like, I'm literally sitting there. I press square, which is, you know, the console button that you have to press. I don't know the PC key. But, you know, I press square, and it's supposed to be like an action time event, right? You get stunned, you press square, you break out. Well, it doesn't happen, really. You kind of just, like, stay there until it's, like, over. And so you either have to destroy it, or, you know, you get shot. And I think that should be fixed. There definitely should be like a button mash to break free or something, because it just takes too long to get out of it. Back to the weapons, because, you know, that was the only issue I had with operators. While I love the pick 10 system, you know, who thought it was a great idea to take suppressors away from assault rifles, with the exception of the Vapor? While I understand you want to promote using SMGs and LMGs, it's ridiculous because it's not like any of these guns are the ACR. Alright, let's run that back. While I understand you want to promote using SMGs and LMGs, it's ridiculous because it's not like any of these guns are the Modern Warfare 2 ACR, which lasers down everyone, suppressor or not. And for you dicks who are saying the ICR is the ACR, I challenge you. Go play Modern Warfare 2 and use the ACR, then play Black Ops 1 and use the Commando. Every ACR has been a reskin of the Commando and is inferior to the ACR. Like, any ACR. Ever. One thing I hate and will always hate are score streaks. Now, I know I'm not going to win this argument, but if you played when a UAV was 3 kills, you'd understand my frustrations. The idea in TDM I have to get 6 kills because a UAV is 550 for some reason. It's fucking crazy. That's a Harrier strike. That's an attack helicopter. But I know a lot of you guys played BO2 and love score streaks, so I'm gonna hold this L and just move on in life. My final con in Black Ops 4 would have to be the long-lasting issue that has plagued Call of Duty for years. And I mean every Call of Duty. The spawns. Now, adding the spawn beacon in was great, but if you don't have that, the spawn is AIDS. I died from tripwires, which, by the way, no one can see off rip because spawns bring me to the enemy instead of where my teammates are. Like, so many times. And forget domination. Dom is a joke. If you are a solo and play a squad, just lube up and spread them cheeks, because they're going to be taken, like it or not. And, you know, that's my biggest frustration with there is just the spawn system, you know? And it will improve, because Call of Duty does try to improve their spawn. Nothing can be perfect, but you know what? I can live with it, because after a while, you just kind of get used to it. And your actions just, you know, you're prepared. So after discussing these things with you, feel free to comment below if you agree or disagree with any of the statements I've made thus far. If I missed something and you want to touch on it, you know, let's talk in the comments, man. I love having a discussion. But I will tell you this. This Call of Duty is the most fun I've had in a long time. It feels like I'm playing again instead of having microtransactions shoved down my throat and dealing with, like, the everlasting change, boost jumping, fucking guns that don't even aim right, and terrible hit detection. If I had to rate this COD, this one's a solid 8.5 out of 10. It would be a 9. But I do feel if you're a solo player, you would struggle in this game. So this is the end of the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. My guy Gonzo out. Love you guys all. Thank you for supporting me. Bye.